What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and I'm going to be doing a Red Eyes Black Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because we just got an amazing new support card for Red Eyes Black Dragon in the form of Red Eyes Soul, which helps out the consistency of this deck by a lot. You guys have been requesting this one like crazy down in the comments, so I'm super excited to show you guys this list. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in a single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Red Eyes Black Dragon. This is our key combo piece for the deck, and it's too nostalgic not to play 3 copies of. This card is so important for the deck to be able to bring back from the graveyard off your copies of Flare Metal, use as fusion material to summon out Dragoon, all sorts of plays with this card, so we're playing 3 copies of it. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. I feel like 1 is totally fine. It's basically like the 4th copy of Red Eyes in the deck, and it's a really good one of in this build. Unfortunately, it is a Gemini monster, but it's still really good to use in this deck as a one of. We then play a single copy of Dark Magician. Dark Magician is a great one of in this deck to help us go in for Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which is a crazy powerful Red Eyes boss monster. We then play 3 copies of Red Eyes Soul. Red Eyes Soul is an awesome new card that we just got out of Maze of Memories, and this card is absolutely crazy in this deck. It has the ability that this card's name becomes Red Eyes Black Dragon while in the field or in the graveyard, which is a crazy good effect for a level 7 monster. And if your opponent special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to be able to special summon out a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck, except a Red Eyes Soul. And you can only use the effect of this card once per turn. That is a crazy powerful effect that you can just instantly special summon out any Red Eyes monster you want directly from your deck off this card's effect. It also has the ability to quick effect. You can target 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon that you control and inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack, but you can only use that effect once per duel, but that does a lot of burn damage to the opponent, which is insanely powerful. This card is a definite 3 of in the deck. We then play 2 copies of Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon is a great extender for the deck. I feel like 2 is really good in this deck right now because it has the ability to tribute a Red Eyes monster from your hand or field and then special summon this card from your hand, which is a great effect to be able to use with this card. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. This card is a great one of in the deck. I don't feel like you need any more than a single copy of this card because we can search it off of Black Metal Dragon, which is the main play that we're going to be using with this card, but it has a great effect that you can special summon this card from your hand by banishing a face-up dragon monster that you control, and then once per turn you can special summon out a dragon monster from your hand or graveyard, except another copy of this card, but it is a hard once per turn effect, which is a really good effect to be able to use with this card though. We then play 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. Black Metal Dragon is one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck and is a definite 3 of because it lets you target a Red Eyes monster you control and equip this monster to that monster from your hand or field, giving it a 600 attack boost. But the crazy effect of this card is if this card is sent from the field to the grave, then you can add a Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, which is an awesome effect that's not once per turn, which is really good because you can normal summon this card out to the field, link it away for like a Striker Dragon, and then get a search of your copy of your Red Eyes Darkness Metal, banish the Striker Dragon, special summon out this to your side of the field, use this thing's effect to be able to revive back Black Metal Dragon, and then link them away for a link to, like your copy of your Dragoonity Link monster or Hieratic Seal, to get you another search off this card's effect, which is insanely powerful because it's not once per turn. We then play 2 copies of the Black Stone of Legend. The Black Stone of Legend is one of the only normal summons we have in the deck, and it's super good because you can tribute this card to be able to special summon out a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck, except a copy of Red Eyes B Chick, which is a great effect to be able to get out Red Eyes Soul directly from your deck or the original Red Eyes Black Dragon. We then played a single copy of my personal tech in this deck, and that's going to be a single copy of, you guys knew it was coming, a single copy of Dark Armed Dragon. This card is so good in this deck. It's a level 7. It's super easy to control the amount of cards you have in the graveyard with this deck with cards like Flare Metal, and it's so cool to be able to play this card in the deck. It's super easy to summon because if you have exactly 3 dark monsters in your graveyard, you special summon this card to your side of the field, and it also has the ability to banish a dark monster from your graveyard, target 1 card on the field, and destroy that target, and it is not a once per turn. As long as you have dark monsters to fuel this card, you can keep popping cards with this card's effect, which is insane. This card is super searchable off your copy of your Magnemite, which is really, really good. We then play a single copy of Rocket Synchron. This card is also a really good normal summon a deck to go into Borreload Savage Dragon, and it's just an insane card in this deck because when this card is normal summoned, you can target a level 5 or higher Dark Dragon monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position, which is a awesome effect to be able to use in this deck to be able to bring back one of your level 7s and then synchro into a copy of Borreload Savage. We then play just 2 copies of Magnemite. Magnemite's a great 2 of them because it is a level 6 Dark Dragon monster, which is great in this particular build to be able to go in for your copy of Meteor Dragon in the extra deck, which is super insane. It has a great effect to be able to search a dragon monster during the end phase that this card was summoned to your side of the field, which is a awesome effect to be able to use. Also, it's a really good hand trap because you can target a lighter dark monster in either graveyard, banish it, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand, and it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster, which is a pretty good effect. We then play a single copy of Druid's Worm. Druid's Worm's a really good card to be able to search off your copy of Magnemite and is really good at spot removing cards because if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, then you can target a special summon monster opponent controls and send it to the grave. I really like playing these cards in the deck because it helps you go in for a bunch of different plays, and also since they're level 6 dragon monsters, you can go for a Meteor Black Comet Dragon with Red Eyes Fusion using these cards, which is really, really cool. I love that about these cards. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start off with a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is really good in this deck to be able to bring back your copies of Red Eyes, so you can go in for your Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, because this deck can actually summon out 3 in a single turn, which is crazy. We then play a single copy of 1-for-1. 1-for-1 is really good as a 1-of in this deck to be able to summon out your copy of Black Metal Dragon directly from your deck, so you can go in for the combo that I stated earlier about the Striker Dragon play to go in for a Link 2. We then play a single copy of Dragon's Ravine. Dragon Ravine is really good to be able to search off your Dragoonity Link monster. It's also really good to be able to send your copies of your Dragon monsters from your deck to the graveyard, so this is a great 1-of in the deck. We then play 2 copies of Cards of the Red Stone. Cards of the Red Stone is really good in this deck now because we do have an additional target for it in the deck in the form of your Red Eyes Soul, and has the ability to send a level 7 Red Eyes monster from your hand to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. Then you can send a level 7 Red Eyes monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is a really insane effect. We are just playing 2 copies of this card because it is a hard once per turn, so this card is really good in the deck to be able to play as a 2-of. We then play 3 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords. Return of the Dragon Lords is basically like additional copies of Monster Reborn in the deck, and it's super good in this particular build because it lets you target a level 7 or 8 Dragon type monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which Red Eyes Black Dragon is a level 7 monster, so it makes it even easier to make Flare Metal Dragon. We then play 3 copies of Red Eyes Insight. Red Eyes Insight is how we search out Red Eyes Fusion from our deck to our hand, because you can send a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard to be able to add 1 Red Eyes spell or trap from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is a great effect to be able to use in this deck to be able to get your copy of Red Eyes Fusion, Return of the Red Eyes, or even Red Eyes Spirit directly from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Red Eyes Fusion. The Red Eyes Fusion is the main way we're going for Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, or even your copy of your Meteor Dragon that we play in the extra deck. The only downside of this card is you cannot normal summon or special summon monsters the turn you activate this card, but you can still set monsters, which is totally fine because you're going to get an insanely powerful boss monster on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. I feel like Allure of Darkness is really good as a 3-of in the deck, just to help you dig into the deck to get the exact cards you need, especially with the amount of cards that we're playing that are dark in this deck. This card is always alive and really good. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 2 traps in this build, and that's going to be a single copy of Red Eye's Spirit, which is a monster reborn for this deck as well. As you target a Red Eye's monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is super good because it can be any card that's a Red Eye's monster, which is insane. It's super good because you can bring back a bunch of different boss monsters with this card because it just says Red Eye's monster instead of Red Eye's Black Dragon. We then play a single copy of Return of the Red Eyes. Return of the Red Eyes is a definite one-of in the build and is super good because if you control a Red Eyes monster, except Red Eyes be Chick, you can target a normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which you can even target Dark Magician off that effect, which is insane about this card that you can even bring back Dark Magician off Return of the Red Eyes since it says one normal monster. And this card is basically once per turn as well, which is super good, so you're constantly special summoning back monsters to your side of the field off this card's effect, and it's a definite one-of in this build. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with 3 copies of Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon. And we're going to start off right with 1 copy of each rarity like normal. This card is insane in the deck. Definitely give us a like for the 1 of each rarity though. That is so cool, and I love this card. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this card is insanely powerful. It cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has XZ material, and then while this card has XZ material, each time your opponent breathes, they take 500 points of damage, which is insane because they stack on top of one another. That is so powerful that basically every time your opponent activates a card or effect, they're gonna take 500 points of damage, which is just so good. This card also has the ability you can detach a material from this card and then target a Red Eye's normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it back to your side of the field, which is just such a good effect. And then play a single copy of Odd Eye's Rebellion Dragon. Odd Eye's Rebellion Dragon is a good one-of in deck. You're going to be able to make this card and then throw a copy of Overload on top of it to OTK your opponent, which is just so good to be able to have access to a rank 7 OTK machine like your copy of Odd Eye's Rebellion Dragon Overload, because it can attack 3 times, which is so good. We then play a single copy of DarkArmed, the Dragon of Annihilation. You guys thought we were done with DarkArmed Dragon, but we aren't. We still have a XZ monster to be able to play in this deck, and this card is so good in this particular build because once per turn, if you have exactly 5 dark monsters in your graveyard, you can also XZ summon this card by using a level 5 or higher dark dragon monster that you control as material, which is really good to be able to summon out this card to your side of the field because it has a detach a material from this card and then target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it, and then banish a card from your graveyard, and this card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect, which is not that big of a deal because you're really going to be able to pop usually 2 cards off this card's effect, and it's really good because it also sets you up for your copy of DarkArmed Dragon. We then play a single copy of Meteor Black Comet Dragon. This card is insanely powerful, coming out at 3,500 attack points, and it's super good to put on your side of the field, because if this card is fusion summoned, you send a Red Eyes monster from your deck, hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the original attack of that monster. Usually it's going to be about 1,200 points of damage that you're going to do to the opponent, but if this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, then you can target a null monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is always going to be Red Eyes Black Dragon that you're going to be bringing back with this card's effect. But it does take a level 7 Red Eyes monster plus a level 6 Dragon type monster, which is super good because you can actually use Red Eyes Soul because it is a Red Eyes monster, and plus your copy of your Red Eyes Fusion turns your copy of your Fusion monster into Red Eyes Black Dragon, which is insane because you can use Red Eyes Soul's effect with that card, which is insanely powerful. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. This card is a walking negate, super easy to summon to our side of the field, an insanely powerful Red Eyes boss monster. We then play a single copy of Borreload Savage. This card is a walking negate. It's really easy to summon off to your side of the field just by normal summoning Rocket Synchron to your side of the field. You can basically bring back a Red Eyes Sync into this card, but make sure you have a Link monster in the graveyard to be able to equip to this card so you have a walking negate. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's really good to be able to pop multiple cards on the field. Super easy to summon to your side of the field. You don't go into it all that often, but it's a good option to have in the extra deck. Playing a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff. 1 copy of the Dragoonity Knight Romulus to be able to search Dragon Ravine, which is really good. 1 copy of IP Masquerena to be able to make Unicorn during the opponent's turn. 1 copy of the Hieratic Seals. This card is super easy to make in this deck and really a great card because once per opponent's turn, if this card's in the extra monster zone, quick effect, you can tribute 1 monster from your hand or field and return 1 face-up card on the field to the hand, which is just insane. And if this card is tributed, you get to special summon out a dragon monster from your hand or deck, but make its attack and defense 0, which is a really good effect. We then finally play a single copy of Striker Dragon. We don't play Boot Sector Launch because we don't need it in this deck. You're basically just using this card to normal summon out Black Metal Dragon and then link it away for this card, so you get the effect of Black Metal Dragon's effect. You'll search out Darkness Metal, banish this card from the field, and then summon out Darkness Metal, revive back Black Metal Dragon, and then go for a copy of Heretic Seal or your copy of Dragoon Knight, depending on what your hand is. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have not played Red Eyes before, I definitely recommend it. This deck is super cool, especially being able to summon out 3 copies of Flare Metal, which, yes, we can do it in a single turn, which is insanely powerful. So, anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.